This mean if you haven't cast your ballot yet? Matt Kaufax joined us live tonight to explain. Matt?
Yeah, Cody, tomorrow's primary election will set the stage for one of the most unique election years in history since the start of this coronavirus pandemic. Now, here at Greenville elections offices, where I spoke to officials earlier today, they tell me that the historic absentee voting could carry over until this November's presidential election race. Chris Whitmire with South Carolina's Election Commission in Columbia says COVID-19 has changed the primary landscape, with around 190,000 filing for absentee ballots.
And to put that into perspective, no more than 60,000 people have ever voted absentee in a statewide primary before. So we've more than tripled that.
Those numbers are normally only recorded during presidential elections, and more than 65% have been voting by mail.
If you have your absentee ballot, if you still have it, you need to get it to your county voter registration office by 7 p.m. on election day for it to count.
That means those who haven't mailed in yet will have to bring them in person Tuesday. He also says if you registered to vote absentee, you can't decide last minute to show up in person.
Patience is going to be the main word for voters to remember tomorrow. This is new territory for all of us.
Conway Belangia runs Greenville's elections office. He says there are concerns about increased time it'll take to count votes in smaller cities, but that won't compromise the final result.
The smaller counties have a much bigger task and less staff to do it with.
He says safety is still what's most important.
Cleaning of the facility, social distancing, all of that will be in place for voters.
He also adds it's unclear whether the same pandemic practices and universal absentee qualifications will be in place come November. But if there is no COVID cure by then, state lawmakers may vote to extend them.
The legislature just could make it really easy by applying the emergency rule to November like they did for this primary.
Now, Whitmire says another way they are expediting the process at the state level is by allowing counties to open ballots earlier on Monday at 9 a.m. He says that is another measure that they would have to vote on come September when the State House goes back into legislative session to continue in addition to those coronavirus pandemic emergency measures. Now, we are going to have a full list of ballots, polling places, everything you need to know tomorrow in our Fox Carolina News app. In Greenville, Matt Kaufax, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.